Hey everyone, for now we're going to take a look at Theory B of chapter 6.3, and that's all about so-called stem and leaf diagrams. I think those are a little less known to most of you than histograms, bar charts, pie charts, etc. Let's take a look at this example. We're going to take a look at the amount of rain. First I'm going to laser pointer. The amount of rain in millimeters that fell per day in the first 2 weeks of September. So we have 23 millimeters, 18, 8, 12, 4, 10, 13, etc. If you want to, you can make a frequency table out of this, right? You've learned so at chapter 6.3 Theory A. And after that you can even make a histogram. However, take a look at the frequency table that I've made for this exercise. So we have all the numbers that occur, and underneath that we have the frequency that belong to them. As you can see, this frequency table is not that useful because first of all it's very long, and the frequencies that you have written down are all 1, 2, well, and the rest are all 1. So this table doesn't give us much insight about which numbers occur as much and around which number the mean is, the gemiddelde. So if we have data like this, we're not going to make a so-called histogram, but we're going to make a stem and leaf diagram. And I'm going to take a look at the steps that you have to follow to construct one yourself. First of all, a stem en leaf diagram, in het Nederlands een steel-bladdiagram, bestaat uit 2 delen. De stem, or the so-called steel, en de leaf, het blad, samen the steel-bladdiagram. If you're going to take a look at the numerical data, you're going to separate the numbers in tens and in units. And in tens we mean the number right here, right? 12 consists of 10 plus 2. So the numbers of 10 are called the stem, so that would be the 1. And the number of units is called the leaf, in this case 2. So for 29, they also give that as an example, 2 is the stem, 9 is the leaf. For 4, the stem is 0, right, because the number 4 doesn't contain any units of 10. But it does contain a normal unit, right, 4, so the leaf is 4. If we're going to do that, we can now process this data into a so-called stem and leaf diagram. Let's follow those steps. So here we have the numbers that we're talking about, and now we're going to convert this into a stem and leaf diagram. Step 1. Make 2 columns and place the stems in the first column. So in this example, they take 0, 1, and 2 as the stems, the tens, right? If I had, for example, a new number that was 31 or 32 or 42, then it would also contain that number in the tens, in the stem column, right? So if I had 31, I also would write a 3 here, because 31 has a 3 as a stem. However, now I only have units, numbers in tens and numbers of 20s. So 0, 1, 2. That are going to be the tens. And the leaves, the units, are to the right. So if you have done step 1, now we're going to place the leaves in the correct column. So for 23, the stem is 2 and the leaf is 3. So I'm writing a 3 right here. So this is the number 23. And I'm just going to do that in order. So for 18, the stem is 1 and the leaf is 8. For 8, the stem is 0, the leaf is 8. For 12, 1 and 2. For 4, 0 and 4. And you're going to do that for all numbers. Even if a number occurs multiple times, as you can see right here, I have 0, 4, 0, 4, so that are the units 4. I have it here and right here. So if you have multiple of them, include them all, right? And in step 3, we're going to put the leaves into ascending order. So it's a bit more neatly, right? So 0, 3, 4, 4, 8. 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 8, 9. 2, 1, 3, 4, 9. So remember, if I have a 9 right here, that corresponds to the value 19. If I have a 9 right here, it corresponds to the number 29, because you have to combine the units with the 10 that's in front. Right, and the stem sometimes doesn't include tens, but can also include hundreds, and then we have tens right here, or our units here, and then we have tens, dus tienden, hier, zijn we hier de gehele en hier tiensten, dus 1,1, 1,3, etc. And this way you can now construct a stem and leaf diagram by yourself. And you should also be able to read them and know which information you can get from reading them. And I also would like to take a look at the special case of a stem and leaf diagram, because that can be a bit confusing if you don't recognize it. And that's the so-called double stem and leaf diagram. Het is eigenlijk een dubbel stilbladdiagram. What they've done right here we have the units in the middle, right? And we have tens to the left and to the right. What they have done, they have combined two stem and leaf diagrams into one. So let's take a look at how you should read this diagram. We're going to take a look at those three examples. So we have 10 and 6, corresponds with the women, 5 and 11 for the men, and I have this empty place right here. Take a look for yourself and think what the values could correspond with in this case. Well, if you have taken a look, let's see. In this case, the green value should be 10.6. Remember, these are tens. So we have 10.6. But for the man, it isn't 5.11, right? Because this is the unit and these are the tens. So 11.5. And the red box doesn't contain a value in this case, because the tens are empty, right? If there was a 0, like here, it would be 13.0, or here for the man 12.0. If it's empty, then this value doesn't exist, right? So know how to read a double stem and leaf diagram. They work both ways, but in this case for the man, you're going to swap the tens right after the units. So it's 14.2, 14.6, 14.7. And you see that the ascending order in this case is swapped as well. So they're ascending from right to left instead of from left to right. I think with this information you are able to do all the exercises that involve so-called stem and leaf diagrams and practice them enough, because I think because they are not that frequently used in daily life, they can be more difficult to do the exercises for them than they are for the so-called histograms and frequency tables, etc. Good luck!